they're going. Here's the issue. I saw a video where they're going to construction sites and arresting construction workers, right?
That are not supposed to be in the country.
Okay. Why are you arresting construction workers? It's like they're working a job, right? I get it. I get what we're doing. But it's like, have you arrested all of the gangs yet? You shouldn't be arresting the people who are building our communities and out there looking like they're legitimately trying to provide for their families before you've eradicated all of the cartel gangs and such in the country, right? Which I'm sure they haven't done.
No, but I think they're just trying to find everybody.
Yeah, but they're arresting mothers.
But how do you know that guy working a construction job hasn't done something bad?
Because they're just arresting them for their immigration status.
Are you sure, though, that's the only thing he's done?
You can't go on a construction site and everybody's an MS-13 gang member building a house, right?
But he could have done something illegal. How many guys did they arrest on this construction site?
But that's the videos that I'm seeing, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure I have a skewed perception of it.
Well,
but that's what I'm seeing. They're literally running onto construction sites and arresting the workers.
Trying to show only one side of it also. A lot of them are.
Okay, so yeah, I'll just say this. On the off chance that I'm wrong about that, which I very well could be, I hope, like I said, I hope they're also going hard after the gang stuff. That's the shit we care about. The drug dealers, the gang members. You know, I'm seeing them arresting people at construction sites. And it's like, did you clean up the big mess first? Because this looks like the small fish.
But couldn't that drug dealer, whatever you want gone, also say, well, why aren't you arresting him? He's also illegal. Like, you can't be one-sided about it, right? Like, if you're going to do it, you have to do everybody.
True. But prioritize. You better be getting rid of the violent, dangerous criminals first.
That guy's a lot easier just to snatch and grab, right? Versus just going into a drug community and be like, get over here.
Sure.
You know?
But I mean, we're America, right?
Yeah.
You guys tout our military might. Yeah. Come on now.
While they're fighting, Newsom was fighting the military coming into California. He didn't want them there.
Yeah, I know.
So
it's a mess. Now, let me pose on the opposite side of that discussion. I've seen Hispanic protesters out there in the streets burning the American flag.
Yeah.
And I got pissed.
Well,
that irritates me. You know, people say it's just a flag. Who cares? Let them burn it. No, man. That should be, you should go to,
you should be shot.
You shouldn't go to jail for it. In my own head, it's kind of a freedom of speech expression thing, right? Okay, you can burn the flag.
But what if
it doesn't mean I get less pissed.
What would happen to them if they did it in the country they came from?
Exactly.
They probably get shot.
Exactly. And they're burning our flag and waving theirs.
Which makes no sense.
I get pissed.
That's the whole videos I seen. That's where I wanted to go with it.
Don't do that.
Where they go, you don't want to go back to a country we're trying to send you back to, but you want to wave their flag in this country, but you don't want to go there. They're like, make that make sense.
You want to wave the flag of the country that we're trying to deport you back to here.
In another country.
And stay here, though. It's like, you're waving the flag. We're saying, all right, get in the van. We're taking you back. You're like, no, I'll do anything to stay.
I think it was Justin that sent me a good video, too, on that, where the guy's talking about these people are saying, well, their families, this and that, okay. But you should be held to the same laws as the people that are from this country are held to. Why should your status be any different?
It shouldn't.
They're separating parents, drug dealers, all that, because we break the law. So either we're a country of laws or we're not.
Correct.
Right?
And I don't know. Someone also mentioned that these protests were happening in a small portion of California. It's like 100 people at the protest.
LA.
The news blew it up and made it look crazy, right? But it was just a small protest. They can make it look bad on the news, right? Because they were saying, "Oh, I'm like driving around in California everywhere else, and it's completely normal." They're showing footage, but then again,
it's just major cities,
right? But people could also, I don't know what's real or fake anymore. That's also the problem.
A lot of California is still Republican too. It's just your major cities now, your major hubs are what are more Democratic, I guess. It seems like even Minnesota has a lot of Republican area, but when it comes to like electoral college and all that stuff and the voting, they're all kind of grouped into one area and there's so many people, but they're a very small area. Right. But there's a lot of people that think the same way, I think, but
yeah, I'm not okay with what's going on. No, I don't want to see a bunch of people get deported out of our country. Just for like, say for instance, they're saying, oh, people are deporting gardeners and people are, just average people who are in the country and their immigration status is just not current or they're illegal.
Yeah. But you can't be biased on that section.
Right. We're to the point, I've said this before, we kind of have to throw a large net and just catch the fish, okay? Mm-hmm. It's gotten a little bit out of hand. You can always go back to the example of your house. It's not like we're being unfair with these laws,
You came here illegally.
You can only you came here illegally, but back to the example of the house. I can only let so many people in my home before the house becomes unlivable for all of us, before I run completely out of money to pay for all of us, before this just becomes a terrible situation. The country's no different. Yes, we're America the Great, America the Powerful, America this, America that. We're also very proud, and nobody just wants to admit when we're in trouble over here. And we are. You can only let so many people in the country, just like you can only let so many people in your house before things get bad. And we're at that point. You can just look at our national debt if you want to just take a little peek into how badly off we are right now. Just the debt level, right? So, I don't know. That's not what I wanted to play. But, I don't know. You work with a lot of Hispanics, right? Are any of them saying anything about this?
I'm sure, just not specifically to me.
Whose side of So you're not getting...
I get people wanting to come here and like make a life also. But I'm also for, if they are breaking stuff and looting, and I'm for the law taking the law into their hands and doing what is right for the community.
Right.
And making it safe for people to live there.
Yeah.
Like these people go and they don't understand what they're doing. Did you not see all those cop cars that got destroyed, right?
Yeah.
Do they realize how much money they're costing themselves? Taxes are going to go up. You got to replace all that stuff. Like, or the parts of the city, they're not going to rebuild. They're just going to go build somewhere else. So now you're going to live in a crap hole.
That's the other half of it, right?
You're ruining your own community.
Yeah. It is the people who are rioting and looting. And it's, well, I don't know. The burning of the cop cars irritated the shit out of me. Because how do you let that happen? And then there's the guy, we all saw him on the news, who was throwing bricks at the ICE vehicles as they were driving through. They're all afraid to
do anything because they think they're going to go to prison for standing up for themselves, right?
That's not my problem. Who's afraid?
The cops, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Because they should be able to use force in those situations, right?
Right. They should be able to. Well, dude, I saved, a bunch of these videos from the protests. Can we watch a couple of them? Here's the one that irritated me.
But there is one where there's a cop one. Did you watch the sheriff from Florida when he's talking?
Yeah.
We need to watch that one too.
Yeah. Because
he makes a good point on this is what's going to happen. He warns them ahead in advance. So.
He did warn them. We're going to watch the sheriff one after we watch this one, man.
What's up with John Leguizamo looking like an albino?
Bro, let me tell you about John. What's his name?
Is it Leguizamo? Is that John Leguizamo?
Yeah, but
Sorry, that's out of the question.
Obviously, he's a Hispanic guy, right? So he's on the side of the immigrants in this whole thing. Mm-hmm. And whatever, like I said, I get it if you're upset that this is happening to the good people who are here illegally, right? Because there are plenty of really good people who are here illegally.
Trying to actually make a life for themselves, yes.
And he is one of the people that's upset for that. And I get it. But also, we cannot leave out the fact that they are here illegally, and it's taxing on our country in a negative way. It's not a positive thing. Yes, they're doing a lot of positive work, right? A lot of them are involved in construction, landscaping. They are doing a lot of benefit for America, and I really don't know how it's going to pan out.
But how does that work during tax? Like when you have to pay your taxes, all that? Are they getting charged any of that stuff?
I don't know.
How does that work?
I don't know, man. And it's true they send a lot of their money home, right? Yeah. A lot of it doesn't stay in the country. They are building neighborhoods for us, like Hispanic guys, dude. They're hard workers. The crew we had out at my last job, they would do all of our concrete work. super solid dudes. They do heavy construction, all the hard shit that a lazy Americans are getting tired of doing, right? These guys come in and they'll do the work. So what happens if we get rid of them? Legitimately. We're going to pick it up. Us fat McDonald's eating Americans are going to pick it up. I'm not hating on Americans at all, but I'm just saying the people that are upset about the good people getting deported, I get it. But I also have to say to those people, they're illegal. We can't just let them stay. We have to abide. If I have to abide by the law, so do they, right? Come in legally or don't come in at all. And if you say the process to get in is just so damn hard that we can't make it, then that's just it. That's the process. Okay? You can't get in.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't just do everything I want.
Right.
You know, I'm sorry, but
you know, then yeah, that's where the argument comes in to go make your own country better, right? If it's so much hard work to get into America, you can't come here. You're going to make it all bad for the rest of us, right? But here, watch this video, man. God almighty, watch this video.
Let's see.
If it plays, I don't even know if it's going to play.
Is that even is that a white guy?
I don't know who this is. I don't know why it's not playing. There we go. Got the American flag. See, don't do that. This pisses me off. This pisses me off.
Police have just fired
over a flag. I took my flag and I slapped it on the ground because obviously the state of America. I'm dragging them because they're dragging us. And over a flag, y'all saw what happened. Listen, I'm here because there's people that can't be here. And I'm willing to endure that. If a U.S. citizen has to endure that for every human to get rights.
Can you just tell me the feeling among Angelenos here?
I'm born and raised here. I'm 24 years old. I'm young. I know there's people here younger, older than me. It's immigrants built this city. There's no denying that. And when they're trying to take that out, it's not okay. It's just not okay.
I want to make it very clear that this person is advocating for people to be in the country illegally. That's at the base of it, right? He might not understand his own cause that he's protesting for, right? He just is upset because he's in his feelings. And like I said, he knows good people. And he's like, they're just good people, let them stay, right? But they're illegal, and we have to abide by the laws of the country. The laws are there for a reason. They're there to protect the people who are here legally, who were born here. This is our country. People say, you're on stolen land, you're on this, you're on that, whatever. Americans took this country. If you can't keep it, then it's not your land. If you couldn't fight for it and win it, it's not your land anymore. It's America's land now, okay? The people who fought and died to take this land from the Native Americans, from whoever else, it's now America. We fought for it.
And you can say all that, but whoever was part of that is gone. Like, it's a different world.
And they're gone. Yeah. It's now America. There's no changing that, right? And we have laws. And you're here illegally. And we have to get rid of you. And we're sorry. We know you're a good person. We're not saying you're a bad person. You have to go, though. You're taxing everyone else who has been working so hard. Listen to
that guy really thought he did something great, though, and I'm not.
He's standing up for his cause.
I guess
I understand where his mindset is. He's just very delusional, and he doesn't understand the bigger issue.
But what would happen if like something serious went down? What would that guy be doing? I'm gonna dance on the flag.
He might go out. Yeah,
he's done,
bro.
He's done.
I'll say this, man. Burning our flag, it does something inside of me. It really
you should be proud
me.
of it. You should be proud of where you're from, right?
It angers me.
Other countries are.
Yeah.
Why can't we be proud to be from America?
No, we can be.
Right.
And we will be.
Right.
I don't care if someone tells me I can't be proud of America. I know we're not perfect. Neither the hell is your country.
No.
Or anybody else's country. Yes, we've got our problems.
They came here for a reason.
I love this country.
Right?
Yeah, and I don't want to curse too much, but to hell with people like that. Burning the flag, you just lost all my respect, and your whole protest, you lost it because you stepped on the flag like that. Too many good people died for that. yeah, it's a piece of material and this and that. No, it's
but it
more
represents
than that.
something.
Yeah, it represents something. You should like go to a football game and try to step on a diehard football team's flag or their jersey. They'll
or
kill
beat up
you.
the mascot.
Yeah, they'll kill you for that. You're like, oh, I can't stand up for our country though, and that flag, but you can kill somebody over a whatever flag for your football team or your hockey team, right? Whatever. Listen to this, bro. This is crazy. What this?
And even those who were out of.
First of all, this is Representative Maxine Waters, and listen to what she says about the protesters. Listen to this.
With what we are advocating, peaceful protest, did not create any violence. Nobody was shot. Nobody was killed. Get it in your head. And so when martial law is called, what are you going to say? I missed the point. Don't miss the point, you all. Don't think that somehow, because they called out the National Guard, there was violence. There was no violence. I was on the street. I know. And I went from downtown detention back out into the community, talking to people what happened in Paramount, what happened in Compton, what happened in Inglewood. So, first of all, get it straight. And don't just...
So there's the guy throwing the bricks at the ICE vehicles. And she's saying, by the way, they're playing this next to her talking, and she's saying, these protesters, there was no violence. Nobody was killed. Nobody was hurt. And they're playing all the footage of all the violence that was going on at the peaceful protest. So she's just completely out of touch with reality. On the other half of this video, what really pissed me off about this guy throwing bricks at all the ICE vehicles going by, later on they came out and they're like, we're looking for him. Like, the law enforcement, we're looking for this guy. He endangered our officers and stuff. I'm like, look at how many ICE vehicles drove by. Not one of you stopped and grabbed him.
And beat the living piss out of him.
Right.
That's what should happen.
Look at the vehicles.
You f around, you find out.
You F around, you find out. You F-O-F, how does that go? F-A-F-O. You F-A-F-O. But look, the cars are all speeding by him. I'd have drove into him.
I'd be like, I couldn't see. Hit my windshield.
Yeah.
I didn't know what happened.
He threw a brick. I lost my vision and swerved and hit him. My bad. Dog. Because look how many. All the vehicles are driving.
Some of them are just regular vehicles.
No, those are all ICE vehicles.
Oh, bro. Are they though?
Those are all ICE vehicles.
One of them was a minivan.
They do that. They get in undercover, cars.
Are you sure though? What if it was just a regular car?
Then some of them ICE vehicles really should have stopped and grabbed him.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I don't see why we don't have the right to do that.
Bro, I'm so irritated by all this. Right, so they are looting. Okay, here we go. They're looting.
A 7-Eleven.
A 7-Eleven. So this says, a 7-Eleven gas station in Los Angeles was overrun and looted by a large group following a possible street takeover in San Pedro. No arrests have been made and blah, blah, blah. I don't honestly know if this was tied to the riots because people post videos like this all the time during stuff like this. But also, I believe stuff like this is.
Well, yeah, because look at how long ago the comments were.
What does it say? 14 weeks?
That one says 16 weeks.
Yeah, see, stuff like this. But people are posting them currently.
Yeah.
I think they do it to get views, right? They're like, oh, this is going to show that, here's people will click on it if they see the word protest, right? This guy, I wanted to play what he was saying.
It's just beyond heartbreaking and heart-wrenching to see all these innocent, beautiful people looking for a better life, mothers, sons, daughters, fathers, who look just like my family being picked up by pogroms and disappeared into gulags and detention camps. And their only crime was being brown and indigenous and then disappeared just like that. And then when American citizens...
I want to address that. The only crime is being brown and indigenous. What a stupid thing to say. What does that even mean? That's not the only crime. If ICE shows up to arrest and deport someone, the crime was not you being brown and indigenous. Now, the argument can be made. How many people from Ukraine fled to the United States and they might have snuck in illegally? How many, light-skinned people are in the country illegally? Do we know? Is it a problem? I don't know. See, that's where people like him, all we see are Mexicans getting arrested. I get that. there might be something to it. I don't know how many white people are in the country illegally. I'm sure there's got to be some, right? But I don't know if it's as big of a problem as the Hispanic and the Africans that all came in here during COVID and the Joe Biden administration. What were you gonna say?
Nothing. I just sent you something that kind of, after you said that would like counteract that kind of maybe.
A video?
Yeah, I just sent it to you, the BTG thing on Instagram.
Oh, you sent it on Instagram.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish watching his thing. Then I'll
disgusted and protest. Then Trump sends the National Guard when he couldn't even get the National Guard to go to protect our Capitol when it was being attacked in January 6th.
He tried.
The only reason for these mass deportations.
Can I reiterate on that part also? When he said he didn't have the National Guard go, he told them to send them, and there's actual, I think, audio where Nancy Pelosi said, we don't need them. No, we're not going to have them come in.
Yeah, I heard that they were not allowed, right?
Yeah.
They didn't allow him to bring the National Guard in.
Yes.
So
that counteracts that.
Another point that this guy needs to shut the fuck up on, you know? He's being emotional, and I get it. Like he said at the beginning of his video, good, hard-working people who are just trying to make a living for their families. I understand that completely. There's nothing wrong with that, minus the fact that they're illegal. And our house is fucking full. We do not have any more room in this house.
Can't just keep letting more people in the house.
Yeah, and if you
we ran out of beds.
Right, and if you say, oh, we have tons of room, all this land America has. Okay, sure, they can go set up a tent, but that's not what they're doing. They're not setting up tents in fields. And first of all, those fields are owned by farmers who are trying to feed America. But let's just say they did that. They just go live all by themselves out in the woods. No, they're not. They're going to all of our major cities, and that is heavily taxing on those cities. The infrastructure, it's taxing because also politicians are taking advantage of it and just using those people and using the people who already live in that city, just absolutely bringing them to their breaking point to bring in these illegal people. They don't care how the streets look. They don't care that the businesses are being looted and destroyed. As long as it keeps them in their political power, you know, that's what these Democratic politicians are doing right now. So, yeah, it's a problem. We're full. When I say we're full, I don't mean, oh, they can't just go live in fields in our country because we don't have room. I mean, they're going to our cities and we're full.
Yeah. And the people that stand up like the celebrities, okay, but you're in a spot where you have money to live nicely and this and that, and you're here legally probably.
Yeah.
Why don't you put yourself, what if you're one of those other people in those communities? Go live with them. See how it is. Go live in those areas and go try to be amongst everyone.
They won't.
Yeah.
And we saw what happened when they sent them to Martha's Vineyard. Those rich people want nothing to do with these immigrants. Yeah. Let's see this video you sent. Is this it?
No, the last one.
This one?
Yeah, somebody sent it to me, but...
There's news in America every single day. There are children that cry when their mom or dad, who's an American citizen that breaks the law, gets arrested and goes to jail. I have watched it, and there's no rioting and looting over that because we understand that we're either a country of laws or we are not a country of laws. Every day we send moms and dads who are American citizens to prison, and we separate them from their families. And you know why we don't feel sorry for them? Because we judge them on the law, and we say if you break the law in America, we put you in jail. So why is it different for illegal immigrants? There's news.
It's funny too because he's on CNN, so you know they're trying to dispute everything he just said.
Yeah, and they cut him off too. Yeah, that's another great point. I have to abide by the law, right? Yeah. You don't because you're a good person. I'm a damn good person too. You know, can I do a bunch of illegal things? Can I do the most illegal thing? You won't let me enter other countries. They won't let me go in illegally either. You're looking at America like you guys just need to let us, right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, we don't. We really don't.
How dare you, America?
Yeah, kick you out. There's a great example of this, which they kind of distorted in the movie. There's a movie called, oh my God, I can't remember the name of the movie, but it's like an end of the world movie that I just recently watched where like something happens and all these people go to this homestead, I think is what it's called, right?
I haven't seen it.
Okay, well, all these people, they go to this this compound, right? This rich guy has this big house. He's got a nice fence around it. They all go to this compound in the event of this disaster, and they're shored up there. They got all their food. They got guns and everything. Well, people start coming to the gates, and they're like, come on, let us in. You know, we're hungry. We're good people. I got my family here. And they're like, we can't let you in. Sorry. This is just, we have so much food for ourselves. We have to just, otherwise it's going to go to chaos. And sure enough, like the guy's wife eventually comes out and starts quietly, oh, here, take some food to the people that are waiting outside the gate. She's like giving, and they start freaking out, and they're all grabbing for the food and fighting amongst themselves and stuff. And it turns into this chaotic thing, and they draw a lot of attention. And more homeless people show up in front of their gates, like people who are looking for food and shelter in this disaster, right? And eventually, at the end of the movie, they played it out. Who's the guy? Sheridan, the director. He directed Yellowstone, I think.
Oh, I guess I don't know.
That guy. He directed this movie, I believe. But at the end of the movie, they tried to play it off as like, this is the good, like, godly thing to do, you know? And they ended up letting a bunch of people into the compound. But you could see during this entire movie how letting more and more people in was going to destroy them, because they couldn't afford to have all those people in there, right? The same thing's kind of happening with our country. And nobody wants to admit it or accept it. You think we can just let everybody in. That's not how it works.
We want.
Yeah, financially, that's not how it works. That's part of the Doge thing. They found out we're just so godforsakenly deep in debt, you know? That's not good. We're at the end of our rope right now.
Well, the whole compound thing, like you said in the movie too, those people took the time and prepared. All those other people had the same time to do the same thing.
We're not prepared.
Yeah, we're not prepared for a situation like that.
Yeah, so in that situation,
it shouldn't be those other people's fault for that.
Right. So in that situation, what do? Do you let them in because they're a good person, and now all your family's going to starve now potentially? These new people coming in, you don't know them necessarily, so that you just have to just hope you're not letting in violent criminals like we're doing with our open border thing. It's just, at a certain point, the men of this country, I'll say that, have a responsibility to just protect and defend this country, okay? Because there's weak men in this country. There's women who just don't understand violence to the extent that men do. We're letting in a lot of violent individuals in this country. And just because we've all protected you for so far, it doesn't mean that we can just boundlessly and endlessly protect you guys against everything. That's not how this works. That's why the laws were created, to help us enforce the protection that we're trying to give you, right? It's like, I don't know, it's frustrating to me. Don't burn the flag either.
And there are ways into this country without...
You can get in.
It probably sucks.
The process is difficult for a reason.
Yeah.
They made it that way, so
but it is
possible. Hard. It is possible, yes. Yeah. But it is hard. And they made it that way on purpose because we can't have everyone in here. If the process was a 2-week process and everybody could just get in, it would be the exact same issue we're dealing with right now, where it's like we just let everybody in. Sure, that's great now. No, the process needs to be long, arduous, and hard. You have to really want to be in this country. And by the time we let you in, we want you almost, I don't want to say brainwashed, but almost towards America. I want you to believe fully in America and really want to be here. Not just you run around on the street and burn our flag because you just don't respect this country nearly enough. And that guy was born here.
Yeah.
You know? So it's our own citizens.
And
he's an American citizen,
yeah.
Right? That guy wasn't even illegal. He's an American citizen burning our flag. It's infuriating. I don't know, man. We've gone on. It's 30 minutes. Anything else you want to say about this?
I think we should close with the clip of the Florida dude talking. That's a good one.
Yeah. I forgot about that. My bad.
You don't have to, but
no, I think that's a great one because the message he put out was freaking dope. Let's look that up.
Let's all take a piece of information, a piece of the pie from this guy in Florida, man. These they did it right. At least they tried to do it right. Anyways.
Yeah, let's play that and see what he says.
So what's happening in other states like Florida, Protesters are being given stark warnings about the consequences of demonstrations turning violent. The Republican governor is giving drivers the go-ahead to run down protesters if they feel threatened. And the sheriff of Brevard County warned of lethal force.
If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead.
Damn.
Yeah. So he says we're not messing around.
We're not playing around.
Yeah.
His standpoint is exactly how I feel.
But see, they cut out the part where he says, it's okay, this is America, you can peacefully protest. That's the part they cut out to make him look bad.
Sure.
That's what
I don't know why they would cut that out, because that was Fox News, wasn't it?
I don't know, was it?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, he seems like he was against, the reporter seemed like he's against him.
A peaceful.
Should we listen to this?
Yeah, he starts off right away with it.
Yeah, we can end listening to the whole thing if we can.
Peaceful protests are part of our democracy. We invite people to share their opinions. That's what our country is all about.
There you go.
The key word in that is peaceful. And if it's peaceful, us in law enforcement are going to make sure you have a safe environment to do it in. That's part of that process. If you let it turn violent, you do not want to do that in Brevard County. I'm going to tell you that, and I believe I can speak for my fellow sheriffs around the rest of the state. You don't want to let it happen. And just so there's no confusion, because I don't want to hear any whining later saying we didn't know, I'm going to break it down for you. All right? Because as you watch these riots unfold across the rest of the country, what you are seeing is buildings being burned down, police cars being bricked, having explosive devices thrown on them, having fire, guns pointed at them, bricks thrown at them, all and on. So I'm gonna break it down for you. All right. And if somebody wants to know what I mean by turn violent, all right, this is what I mean. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. Yeah. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired, because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. Yeah. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play. This has got to stop.
All right. We're going to end it right there. That was beautiful.
Yes.
Graveyard dead. Remember that. The sheriff.
I've never heard that before.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's my new favorite saying. Let us know what you think about these protests in California, these protests going on all over the country. Do you stand with this Florida sheriff's opinion? Do you stand with our opinion about the American can't handle any more illegal immigrants in the country? Or do you think all of this is right and you want to burn the flag too? Let us know in the comments. Mm-hmm. We're fine. We like the discussion. Email us at thebtgteam@gmail.com. If you want to send us some more crazy stories or anything like that, we'll respond with a video. Subscribe, like, and share, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.
Peace.
Peace.
What's cooler than that?
Well, keep it simple, stupid.